Gravity. It's the force we rarely think about but experience every second of our lives. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, gravity is constantly at work, influencing every aspect of our daily routines. It's what keeps our feet firmly planted on the ground, stops us from floating off into space, and even dictates the very shape of our planet. Without gravity, the Earth would not be the spherical shape we are familiar with. It would be an unrecognizable mass of scattered particles. Without gravity, Earth would be a vastly different place. The oceans would drift away, the atmosphere would dissipate, and life as we know it would cease to exist. Imagine Earth as a giant magnet and everything on it, including us, as small metal objects. This analogy helps us understand how gravity works on a fundamental level. The magnet's pull keeps everything attracted and in place. Similarly, gravity's pull keeps us grounded and maintains the structure of our environment. This is similar to how gravity works. It's an invisible force, yet its effects are visible everywhere. It's a force that pulls everything towards the center of the Earth. This pull is what gives us weight and allows us to perform everyday activities with ease. This force is what we call weight. The more massive an object, the stronger the gravitational pull it experiences. Gravity is not just about holding us down, though. It has far-reaching implications that extend beyond our immediate surroundings. It plays a vital role in shaping our world. The mountains, valleys, and other geological features owe their existence to the relentless pull of gravity over millions of years. It keeps our atmosphere, a thin layer of gases, from escaping into space. This protective blanket is crucial for sustaining life on Earth. This atmosphere is what we breathe and what protects us from harmful radiation from the sun. Without it, life would be exposed to the harsh conditions of space. Gravity also governs the tides, pulling on the oceans and creating the rhythmic ebb and flow we observe. This tidal movement is essential for marine life and coastal ecosystems. In essence, gravity is the invisible force that orchestrates life as we know it on Earth. It is the silent architect of our world, shaping everything from the grandest mountain to the smallest grain of sand. It's a fundamental part of our existence, and its absence would have profound consequences, leading to a chain reaction of catastrophic events that would reshape our planet in unimaginable ways. The delicate balance maintained by gravity is what allows life to thrive, making it one of the most crucial forces in the universe. Let's imagine for a moment the impossible. Earth loses its gravitational pull. Suddenly, the invisible force that kept us grounded vanishes. What happens next? The immediate consequence would be both exhilarating and terrifying: weightlessness. Picture this: you're walking down the street and suddenly your feet no longer feel the familiar pull of the ground. You start to float, gently at first, then more rapidly, as if you're on a trampoline bouncing higher and higher. This is the power of weightlessness, the absence of gravity's constant pull. But this newfound freedom comes at a cost. Buildings no longer anchored to the ground would begin to creak and groan, their structures failing under their own weight. Trees would uproot, their roots dangling uselessly in the air. Oceans would lose their basins, their waters drifting off into the void. And humans? We would become astronauts in our own world, fumbling for purchase in a gravity-free environment. While the idea of floating might seem fun at first, the reality is far more dangerous. Our bodies, evolved for life under gravity's constant influence, would struggle to function. Simple tasks like walking, eating, or even breathing would become monumental challenges. As we float in this strange new reality, another critical change begins to occur. Our atmosphere, the very air we breathe, starts to thin and dissipate into the vastness of space. This invisible shield, which has protected life on Earth for billions of years, is now slipping away, leaving us vulnerable to the harshness of the cosmos. Gravity is no longer there to hold this precious gas envelope around our planet. The force that once kept our atmosphere snugly wrapped around Earth has vanished, and with it, the security it provided. Imagine blowing up a balloon, and then letting go of the opening. The air inside rushes out, propelled by the difference in pressure. This simple analogy helps us understand the complex dynamics at play as our atmosphere begins to escape. A similar phenomenon would occur with our atmosphere. Without gravity's pull to hold it down, the atmospheric pressure that keeps our air in place would vanish. The molecules of air, no longer bound by Earth's gravity, would drift away into space. The air would expand outward, escaping Earth's grasp like a slow puncture in a tire. This gradual but relentless loss of air would leave our planet barren and lifeless. This atmospheric loss would have dire consequences. The atmosphere not only provides the air we breathe but also acts as a shield against harmful cosmic and solar radiation. Our planet would be bombarded with harmful radiation from the sun, no longer shielded by the protective layers of the atmosphere. This radiation would wreak havoc on any remaining life forms, causing severe damage to DNA and other cellular structures. Temperatures would fluctuate wildly between extreme heat during the day and freezing cold at night. The absence of an atmosphere means there would be nothing to moderate these temperature swings, making the environment incredibly hostile. But the most immediate threat would be the lack of oxygen. Without this vital gas, life as we know it would cease to exist. Within minutes, the air would become too thin to breathe, leading to widespread asphyxiation. The oxygen levels would drop rapidly and the consequences would be felt almost immediately. Like climbers scaling Mount Everest without oxygen tanks, we would struggle for each breath, our bodies gasping for the life-giving gas that was rapidly vanishing. The struggle for survival would be intense and short-lived, as the atmosphere that once sustained us slips away into the void. As if the loss of our atmosphere wasn't catastrophic enough, another dramatic event would unfold: the Great Water Escape. This phenomenon would be a direct consequence of the weakened gravitational pull, which no longer holds the atmosphere in place. Without gravity, the oceans, lakes, and rivers that blanket our planet would no longer be bound to Earth's surface. These vast bodies of water, which have shaped our landscapes and supported life for billions of years, would begin to lift off. Imagine a giant planet-sized water balloon suddenly set free. The water would no longer be confined to the surface, and it would start to drift away, forming a massive, floating sphere of liquid. This is what would happen to Earth's water. The oceans, which cover more than 70% of our planet's surface, would rise up, no longer held down by the force of gravity. No longer held down by gravity, the oceans would rise up in enormous tidal waves, engulfing coastal cities and low-lying areas. These waves would be unlike anything we've ever seen, towering over buildings and sweeping away everything in their path. But instead of crashing back down, the water would continue to rise, forming gigantic shimmering blobs that would drift off into space. These blobs would reflect sunlight, creating a dazzling display as they floated away. This mass exodus of water wouldn't be limited to the oceans. Every body of water, from the smallest pond to the largest lake, would be affected. Lakes and rivers would evaporate at an accelerated rate, their waters transforming into vapor and joining the ever-thinning atmosphere. This vapor would then escape into space, leaving the Earth even drier. Eventually, Earth, once a vibrant blue planet teeming with life, would become a dry, barren wasteland. The loss of water would strip the planet of its lush landscapes and diverse ecosystems. This loss of water would be disastrous for any remaining life on Earth. Plants, animals, and humans alike would struggle to survive in this new arid environment. Water is essential for all known forms of life, and its sudden disappearance would spell doom for even the most resilient organisms. The delicate balance of our ecosystems would be shattered. The once fertile lands would turn to dust, and Earth would be left a desolate, lifeless husk. The planet that once thrived with life and water would become a mere shadow of its former self, a stark reminder of the fragility of our world. Imagine, if you will, a world where the very ground beneath your feet is splitting apart. The tectonic plates that once moved slowly are now in a frenzied dance, tearing the planet asunder. It's a scene of unimaginable chaos, yet it's a reality that some planets face. The forces at play are colossal, reshaping the landscape in ways that are both awe-inspiring and terrifying. This is the power of nature, in its most raw and unyielding form. It's a reminder of how dynamic and unpredictable our universe truly is. Imagine floating in the vast, dark expanse of the universe where each star is a distant beacon of light. It's easy to feel small, almost insignificant, adrift in this cosmic sea. Yet, every star, every planet, and every particle plays a crucial role in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. Gravity, the invisible force that binds us all, is the glue that holds the universe together. Without it, galaxies would not form, planets would not orbit, and life as we know it would not exist. It's the silent architect of the cosmos, shaping everything from the tiniest particle to the largest galaxy clusters. Leading scientists from around the world have dedicated their lives to understanding the mysteries of the universe. They unravel the complexities of space, time, and matter, shedding light on questions that have puzzled humanity for centuries. Their insights and discoveries continue to push the boundaries of our knowledge, inspiring future generations to look up at the stars with wonder and curiosity. As we gaze into the night sky, we are reminded of our place in the universe. The vastness of space is a stark reminder of both our insignificance and our potential. It challenges us to explore, to learn, and to appreciate the delicate balance that allows life to thrive on our tiny blue planet. In the grand scheme of things, we are but a small part of a much larger story.